Hi, I'm Lisa. How your credit report is used. So your credit report's used in a lot of different ways. Primarily when you go to apply for a loan. So if you're applying for a loan for a credit card, or you're applying for a loan for a house or a car, the financing company is going to check your credit report and to determine whether they're going to give you that loan or not. Also, when you apply for a job, a lot of folks, employers nowadays, are pulling copies of credit reports when people apply for jobs to see, you know, what type of person, what their payment history is as far as getting them a job. Renting an apartment, go to apply for an apartment, a lease for an apartment, they may check your credit report, as well as some insurance companies are also checking credit reports to see if you're an on-time payer and they expect that you'll be making your payments on time and things like that. So your credit score. Your credit score is a 3-digit number, and it's a score that you're given based on all of the information in your credit report. And it's a number that predicts what type of risk you're going to be to the person who's looking to give you a loan. So it's all calculated based on information in your credit report. And you should check your credit scores before applying for a new loan. So you always want to, and we'll talk about this, get a copy of your credit report, look at your credit report, make sure what's on there is accurate, and know what your score is. Folks that have a higher score, a better score, get lower interest rates, and folks that have a lower score tend to get charged higher interest rates. So you want to get your score as high as possible so you'll get the lower rates on your loans. This website down here, we've got a page on that later in the pitch as well, and it tells you beehive.org is a GE Money kind of sponsored financial education website that you can go out to and get all sorts of information on the things we're talking about today, as well as some other stuff, okay? We'll talk about that at the end as well. So a lot of times you'll hear your credit score referred to as a FICO score. And FICO stands for Fair Isaacs Corporation. Fair Isaacs Corporation is kind of a business that developed the score. They call it the FICO score. And the FICO score takes into account your scores and your credit history from all the different credit unions. Like Jill talked about, there's three credit bureaus. And each of those may have a little different score for you. They calculate them a little differently, and based on those 3 scores, you end up with an overall FICO score. This is how that score's calculated. And it looks at your credit report, it looks at your payment history. And 35% of it's based on your credit history. So your credit history is how well did you pay your bills on time? Did you make your payments on time? Were they 30 days late, 60 days late? Do you have any settlements? Anything like that. The second piece, 30% of it, is outstanding debt. So it looks at your the amount that your balance is compared to your available credit. So if a creditor gives you a $10,000 open to buy and you're only using $2,000 of that, you've got $8,000 out there that's available. So people that are looking to give you a loan, when they're looking at your score, they don't want to see that you've got an available credit of $5,000 and you're using $4,999 of that. They don't want to see that you're maxed out on all your different credit cards. How long you've had your credit, so it looks at the relationships and how long you've had them with the different people that you borrowed money from. It also looks at new applications for credit. We call those inquiries. So how many inquiries do you have? Have you applied for a lot of cards, looking for a lot of credit? And that's just worth 10%. And then the types of credit that you have is the other 10%. And that is if you have installment loans, if you have a mortgage, a car loan, some store credit cards, Elder Beerman card, things like that. So the credit bureaus are looking for a balance of different types of loans that you have on your credit report. Okay, so that's how it's calculated. Other credit scores here, this is just a little extra information. There's more than one credit scoring system. So Fair Isaacs has the FICO score, and TransUnion has their score, and Equifax has their score. At GE, we have our score. So we've used our historical data and how people have paid us, and we've created a kind of a score. So General Motors, how people pay their car loans back, they may have come up with a kind of a model to create a score. So there's different types of scores out there, why you may see your credit score looking a little bit different at the different agencies. inquiries on your credit score. It's my last one. When you apply for credit, this is what we talked about, you authorize that lending agency to go out and pull information off of your credit report, and that's called an inquiry. So you've got inquiries on your credit report. Your score could drop, like I said, with the number of inquiries that you have on your credit report. And to find out what your credit score is, you can get those from the credit bureau. Oftentimes you have to pay for those. So there's a site called annualcreditreport.com that gives you a free copy of your credit report, but usually you have to pay for your score. So they charge you a little bit of money for that. Anytime you apply for a home loan or a secured loan, they do provide you their score.